It's pretty early in the morning on Saturday, and you can see it's pretty overcast. It's actually starting to rain. There's a slight mist in the air. So I want to harvest my garlic. Think it's ready. It was planted beginning of November last year. So right around now is when it should be harvested. And I don't want it to get all wet again. We've had about a week off of not having rain. So I want to get it out of the ground. I'm actually a little worried about my garlic. Although it was looking really healthy when it was growing, I had a few plants that were really far along, so I pulled them out. And admittedly, these were the smaller, scragglier ones, but the bulbs weren't very big. One or two looked like they were getting ready to rot. I mean, they just didn't look good. So I'm hoping that all that rain that we've had all spring hasn't affected the garlic, but we're gonna see what happens. So the garlic's looking like it's ready to come out. We've got like bottom 3 or 4 leaves have yellowed, and the tips are starting to yellow on the other ones. So it's probably a good time to get it out now. As I've said, you want about half the leaves to go. You don't want to keep it in the ground too long because the bulbs will split and they won't store very long if you leave them in the ground too long. So we're gonna start harvesting them and see how it goes. But as I said, I'm a little worried about this crop. I was very confident all along, but not so much anymore. So I'm just gonna start at one end and work my way up. Now I know I got stalks like this one over here. They're just not very thick or anything like that. So I'm not expecting too much from these. I mean, whatever bulb I get, I can still use, but I'm just not hopeful that these are going to be the big bulbs that I was looking for. But you can see, starting down, starting down at the bottom, got a dead leaf here, 2, 3, 4 leaves. So it's really time for this one to come out. So, yeah, see, these are just very small bulbs. Very disappointing because I was really hoping for bigger bulbs this year. Now I did try something new this year. I planted them further apart. I think it was 6 inches, or was it 4 inches? I forget now. But also deeper into the soil. I think it was 4 inches deep into the soil. 6 inches apart, 4 inches deep. I did. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But again, this stalk wasn't particularly big. I've got some thicker stalks, so I'm hoping for better from them. But for the most part, the stalks, I don't know, they just don't, I'm not as impressed as I was originally. And you can see I got a scape growing here. And I don't know, I've been finding more and more scapes. But I also know this would be the time I'd want to, this might actually even be too far along, but this is when you want to cut your scape, when it kind of looks like this, it's curled over already. Because I cut some just as they started to appear, and the scape kept growing like the stalk did. Obviously the seed head didn't because it was cut off, but I think you want to wait until at least it curls over a little bit before you cut them. This is a hardneck variety. It's the music variety. So yeah, see? I'm almost thinking I want to leave it longer, but I don't know how much more it's going to swell up. I had hoped for a little bit bigger bulb on this. If I go through a bunch here and they're only this size, I just might not harvest them yet. But again, I don't want to leave them in the ground too long. Yep. And I've also noticed I'm getting a lot of this funky leaf growth here. It's like it's growing into itself. A whole bunch of them have been like this. I don't know what the heck that's all about. And we'll try another one. You know, this is a little bit bigger. Not impressive at all. but a little bit bigger. I might only harvest one or two more though, and just let it go a little bit longer, maybe another week or so. Now this is a thicker stalk here, this one. So maybe we'll have a bigger bulb on here. Not really. It's a little bit, but not much. I'm gonna harvest one more. It's a small one, I know it's gonna be, but I think I'm just gonna leave the others for a little while. I was hoping to get them in before the rain comes. We haven't had rain for a week, and I haven't watered them for a week or more, trying to let it dry out. Like I said, with all the rain that we've had, I've just been getting worried that they're gonna rot. I mean, they don't look like they're close to that yet. So I'm gonna do one more. It's gonna be another small one, I know. And then I think I'm just gonna leave the rest for another week. Yep. Another small one. So I'm gonna let these dry out in the greenhouse, and then I'll return in about another week and do it. I was also hoping to be able to harvest them now, because the beans that I started in the seed snail are really growing up. And I was hoping to be able to get them into the ground soon, but all right, we're gonna wait. Couldn't help myself, but I pulled out one more. But as you can see, the bulb is starting to split here. And so maybe I'm gonna pull a couple of more. We'll see what happens. But you don't want that, because these won't store at all. So I'll have to use these pretty much right away. So I made it to the greenhouse just as the skies started to open up, but I'm pretty disappointed in the harvest. A lot of the bulbs had split, as I feared, but I got a few okay ones. I mean, they're no bangers like I was hoping for and was anticipating, but I got a bunch of usable bulbs. Let me show you. So this is the harvest. It's about 70, 75 bulbs. And as I said, none of them are anything to write home about. You know, they're small. And I was hoping for about double that size. I mean, maybe the music variety just doesn't grow that big. I mean, this is a pretty decent one. And that's not too bad. Yeah, but this was like an average size last year. It was nothing like I was anticipating. So that's disappointing. I mean, it's all good. I'm going to be able to use all the garlic, and I'll save, a bunch of the cloves for next year. But it's still disappointing considering how strong the plants had looked. I was anticipating some really decent bulbs coming out this year. Not to be, but I'll probably mince a lot of these once they dry out, because I'm going to lay them out in the greenhouse here. The top, these boards come off, and I got the screen underneath, so I'll let air run over them and stuff like that. So it was about 2 weeks I'll let them dry out before processing them. But as I said, the ones that split, and there were quite a number. I was here's another one. It would have been, an okay bulb, but it's split. So that one's not going to store long. So, a lot of these are going to have to be used up, and I'll just use them in my cooking and stuff like that. The others, once they dry out, I'll mince them. And I plan on, I still have garlic from last year that I plan on dehydrating and turning into garlic powder. But it's a disappointment nonetheless. These are the seed snail beans, and as you can see, they're growing really nice. And then, there's 6 seed snails in here, and I got 6 smaller ones over here, and as you can see, they're starting to pop up now. They'll be ready to go into the garden soon. So we got a garlic harvest. It's not the best, but it's still something. and we'll be able to use them. So it's still a win. If you want to see what we were doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here and then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along in the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, thanks for watching.